What's up, everybody? It's your boy Progress Pete. Want to wish y'all a happy 4th of July, first of all. Pray for many more, for y'all and for myself. I want to say rest in peace to the legendary Bushwick Bill from the Ghetto Boys. With my pops being a truck driver and my mom's having to work so much, man, the Ghetto Boys damn near raised me and my brother. So, shout out to the Ghetto Boys, man. Bushwick boy, you gave a whole lot to us, man. Everclear sticking out in my mind for the most part. Ever so clear. That was like, yo, man, that was hard. Did a lot of other legendary stuff too. Man, just thank you for your contribution to hip hop, dude. You will be missed. With that being said, we in the hood, bro. And it looks nice and peaceful too. Let me show y'all this little view. I kinda like it. It's nice out here, man. I'm in a nice little section of the hood at the moment, but it's still the hood. We're in one of those sections. Anyway, bro, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Gates, bro. Appreciate you for dropping your knowledge, bro. Thank you for giving us your time and your wisdom, dog. Kevin Gates just dropped a little post yesterday, and it was a real short one, but it resonated with me, bro. Before he started speaking, he said that he felt it in his spirit that somebody needed to hear what it was that he wanted to say. And I think that somebody was me. At least I know for sure I'm one of those somebodies. So, with that being said, let me start the video, man, so we can see what he said. And I'm going to explain it as much as I could. I'm going to go as in depth as I could with it. Because the way he said it and the way it flowed out, he just was speaking and having general conversation. And if you're not paying attention to what he was saying, or if it didn't mean anything to you, then you probably wouldn't have gave it a second thought, because just from listening to it on the surface, it didn't sound like much. But I thought about what he said, and it was pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. So, let's just get to it.
Hey, I just thought I'd make this post because I just feel spiritually like somebody in life need to hear this. Hey, I'm on my farm right now, very peaceful here, but I lost 3 trucks, 3 shipment containers.
All right, y'all. So the homie said he lost 3 trucks, 3 shipment containers. So each truck had a shipment container, all right? So with that being said, Kevin Gates lost 3 trucks. A lot of people probably, oh man, get out of here, man. Kevin Gates rich as hell, 3 trucks. But Kevin Gates invests a lot of his own money into himself. So, you know, I've never owned a legitimate business in my life. And I damn sure never had 3 trucks to lose at one time. So with that being said, I'm going to try to understand his situation based on my limited knowledge of business, based on, you know, what I got, the little knowledge I got out the street. So anybody who sold dope, sold weed or anything knows that you have to take your money, buy your product. You have to understand how much you're spending on your product, because based on how much that product costs you, that's going to determine how much money you can make off of it. So with that being said, Kevin Gates had to take his money and buy those trucks. He had to take his money and invest into those shipment containers or whatever the case may be. When he takes a loss, it's a loss, man. So I know anytime I ever took a loss, like if I scored some dope or something and the police got behind me and I had to toss my dope out the window just so I could stay free, I might be broke if I spent all my money to get that dope, you know? I might have to call my plug and be like, yo, dog, I need you to put me back in the game, dog. I lost everything. So, with that being said, I don't know how much of that money that this man, how much of it, you know, how much of it affected him, but any loss is a loss, and I know it had to affect him in a major way. So, with that being said, though, let's just get back to this video and hear what more he had to say about it, all right?
My diesel mechanic was desperately trying to get in touch with me. I never answered for him. And my excuse was, I'm following my heart for the first time in my life. And I'm enjoying myself for the first time in my life.
He said while his diesel mechanic was trying to reach him, He wouldn't answer the phone. He said because he was following his heart. Now, I don't really know what that means, but I know he said for the first time in his life that he was enjoying himself and he wasn't about to allow that to be disrupted. Now that I totally understand, because for my whole life, all up to 3 or 4 years ago, I had times where I had fun, but I was out there in the streets having that immature fun, that fun that you risked your life to have. That's not really fun. That's just living on the edge and being wild. So I thought I was having fun, but I really was just living on the edge. I understand what he's saying about finally enjoying himself for the first time in his life. Now that I don't sell dope anymore, and I don't always feel like somebody's trying to plot on me, or somebody's trying to rob me. Somebody might want to kill me, break in my house and, lay everybody down. I don't have to think about the police might be investigating me, or they might be trying to come get me for this or for that. Somebody's trying to set me up every time the phone rings and somebody called me for something. Now, with me not having none of that stuff going on in my life, I'm finally enjoying myself for the first time in my life. Just enjoying the peace that I have. I have peace now. And he mentioned that too, that he was on his phone when his diesel mechanic was trying to call him and it was peaceful out there. So with that being said, I have peace in my life for the first time. And I still have problems and I still have things in my personality that I need to work on and get in check. But I have regular peace, regular problems now, regular, ordinary, civilian problems. You see what I'm saying? And these problems are way easier to deal with than those, problems from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to more of what he was saying, and we're gonna crack the code on this. All right?
But I regret it not, because oftentimes before you get to that next level, you have to experience great loss, because it humbles you. Because there are levels in life where you cannot afford to be negligent in. And that's a beautiful thing that I was able to say.
Man, I hate that I had to switch up the scenery on y'all, man. I would have liked to finish this video outside, but they popping a lot more firecrackers now. It's starting to get more intense. I'm starting to see a lot more strangers walking around too. So I hate for something to happen to me under the cover of it's the 4th of July, boy. Somebody could run down on you easily and run off and nobody even look up to see what happened, because it's the 4th of July. It's a whole lot of pop going on. So I let God carry me through the sand when I can't walk no more. You feel me? But as long as I can walk and think, I'm going to use my head, keep myself out of those situations, dog. This is the 504, dog. New Orleans, a dirty, dirty city, boy, grimy. But anyway, man, back to what Gates said. Gates said he didn't regret it. He said because a lot of times you have great loss humbles you. He said when you take great loss, it humbles you. Now, I took a lot of great loss on this last time I went to prison. I was 31 years old. And at that time, I was married. I had my children with me. I had my son. I had custody of my son. And my son come from my previous marriage. And my wife have 2 daughters from her previous marriage. We had a daughter together, so we have 4 kids total. Anyway, I had custody of my son, so I had my whole family at the house with me at this time. And I was on my way to prison at 31 years old. At this time in my life too, we had just went to the car lot to get my wife a car. And I had never purchased a car from the car lot before, not a new car. And I never financed a car. I used to always buy cars that I can afford to pay cash for and then make them real nice, hood nigga shit. But I had never financed a car. I did that with my wife, and like I said, I had all my kids, I had my family. So when I was going to jail this time, I had my own truck at the time too. So I was on my way to jail and I lost everything. I had to go to jail. I lost everything. So I lost being with my family every day. I lost, I ended up losing my truck. My wife ended up losing her car because she couldn't afford to make those payments by herself and hold down the whole household. You know, without me there, I was the other half of that equation, and I was gone. So everything fell apart. You know what I'm saying? Even on that Joe's, I lost my baby brother, and that was something. Now, Gay said he didn't regret his losses, and I don't regret nothing that I went through except for losing my baby brother. If I could change that, boy, I'd give that up. I'd give anything up to have him back. But he said he didn't regret it, and I agree with that. I don't regret none of my losses except for my baby brother. But I don't regret it because, like he said, you have to suffer great loss because it humbles you, and it also teaches you a lot about yourself. And during that time, I learned a lot about myself too. When I was going through all that, I realized that at that time I deserved to go through it, because although I wasn't out robbing and cracking people in the head for my money, I sold dope for my money. A lot of people that I sold dope to were robbing and cracking people in the head for that money, and I didn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If somebody called me and it was $5 short, I hang up the phone, man. Get the other $5 and call me when you get it. Click. And I didn't care what they had to do to get the other $5. I didn't care who had to suffer. All I knew was I wanted that $5 along with whatever else you had for me. And I didn't give a damn how you had to get it, who you had to hurt. So I needed that. But anyway, it caused me to evaluate myself. Like you said, like he said, I learned a lot about myself, you know. I learned that I wanted to be better. I was tired of my life being the way it was. I was tired of all the pressure that it put on my family, all the hurt and the suffering I brought around, you know, to the people that love me. All the stuff my wife and my kids went through without me being there because of my life choices. So I don't regret, you know, I wish it could have been less painful for my family, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Losing custody of my son. Lost custody of him about 2 years in. His mama found out I was locked up and she came back for him and won because I lost by default. I wasn't there. So, you know, all the pain my family went through, man, because I wasn't there, man, I wish it could have just been less painful for them. But like he said about not having regrets, I don't have regrets about anything that happened with me in my life, because everything that happened to me, like he said, gave me a better sense of myself, made me evaluate myself, it made me better myself, made me start thinking way beyond the realm of what I was thinking about, way beyond the hood and way beyond the city. You know what I'm saying? It just made me start thinking about, man, what am I going to leave for my kids? How am I going to know that my kids are all right when I leave here? You know, and it just made me I just know I needed to start building. So, you know, but if it hadn't been for all of those life lessons, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I'm going to let him finish saying what he was saying, and then I'll comment further.
And that's a beautiful thing that I was able to salvage those relationships. You know what I'm saying? But that next level is upon us. Though I may have lost, I gained a better sense of myself.
You mentioned being able to salvage relationships, G. And he said, though I may have lost, I gained because I got a better sense of myself. We in now. That's fire, dog. That's fire. Dog, I lost a lot. You heard me? And when I make it home, now I'm home. Now I was able to salvage all of my relationships except for the one with my son so far. But as soon as I finish with my illegal obligations, which is going to be real soon, I will be back in court for my parental rights. I'm not looking to fight, just in case my baby's mom see this. I'm not looking to fight with you. I just want you to take care of my son. You know what I'm saying? I had my turn where I had to do it. You got your shot. And you've been doing it. So I respect that. So all I want is my parental rights. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I went to school while I was in prison for AC&R. Finished it. Went to school for Serve Safe. That's some restaurant chef stuff. Finished that. Got home, couldn't get a job doing none of that because of my background. So I found the IBEW. Had to go to school, take an online course just to get the credit of one of algebra that I mentioned in an earlier video, right? Done that. Now, I done completed 3 years of school in the IBEW. So I got 2 more years to go and I'll be an electrician certified, signed and sealed. Now I'll be able to travel across the country doing electrical work through the union and beyond. I'll be able to go out abroad too. So, and I'm also reaching for other things, as you can see. But at the worst case, I'll be an electrician. Worst case. And that's after all those years of squandering opportunities and just taking chances, needless risks. So, I'm here now. And I know it's got a lot of y'all out there who are in the process of changing your lives. And, man, you can do it. You can do it. All you gotta do is persevere, deal with the hard times as they come. Don't get bent out of shape. Don't get in the rush. Don't be in the race with nobody. Keep doing your thing, man. Take your losses, learn from them, become better. Study. Study where you went wrong. Study what you could have done to prevent that. Study what you can do to never be in that situation again, man. And apply everything you learn to become a better you. We here now. Real food for thought, y'all. Holla at your boy, man. Progress Pete. Hit that like button. Hit that, leave some feedback in the comments. Subscribe, share, all that, man. And listen. Somebody asked me about the program I was in on one of my last videos in the comment section. Miss Tony James, thank you for all your support, for all your feedback. I appreciate that. To get in the program I'm in, it's a 5-year program. After you do this, and I'm talking about you can come in off the street not knowing a thing. Not knowing one tool from the other, not knowing one piece of material from the other. And in 5 years, you'll be a certified, full-fledged electrician. You'll have a journeyman ticket that'll allow you to do electrical work anywhere in the world, pretty much. And you'll never be out of work. Never. You'll never have to fill out another job application. You'll never have to do another resume. All you got to do is get through those 5 years, earn that ticket, and you straight. Got good benefits. Depending on what state you go in, all of that stuff vary. All of that stuff fluctuates. You know what I'm saying? It goes up and down. And like, we're in New Orleans, Louisiana, and this is like the worst place in the world to be anything. A doctor, lawyer, anywhere. Anything you become in Louisiana, it's like the bottom of the map on every level. It really is the bottom of the map. But anyway, yeah. So all you need is a driver's license, a high school diploma, or if you have a GED, you need to have at least 1 credit of algebra. If you don't have that 1 credit of algebra, they offer an online course that you can take, and it's a 4 or 5 month course. I don't remember precisely, but you can earn that credit of that 1 credit of algebra that you need in order to participate in an apprenticeship program. So once you do that, you need a $25 application fee. You go and fill out your application, you present everything you have. Your driver's license has got to be valid because you're going to go from one job site to another. And you just need to have the aptitude to learn what they're trying to teach you. You got to be dedicated because, it's 2 nights a week that you're going to school, but you're getting all the on-the-job training you need, man. And I think the IBEW is top of the line electricians. That's just how I feel. But somebody else asked me, Anthony, thank you for your support too, bro, and all your feedback. Big shout out to you too. You asked me how I avoided a lot of the traps that's laid out in prison. For me, I was 31 when I was headed to prison for the 2nd time, and I was leaving the family behind. On my first jokes, I didn't have to leave my family, but I didn't have a family. My baby's mother was pregnant with my first son, and I wasn't even sure about that. I still had to get blood tests. I wasn't sure about that, so I didn't have anything to lose the first time I went to jail. That second time I went to jail, I realized what all I was losing. It was so heartbreaking. It tore my heart out of my chest to have to go turn myself in and leave my family. Man, my kids, my wife, my mom, boy, that killed me, man. I cried. So, and check this out too for y'all who don't know, man. 99% of cats who get that jokes, when they catch that time, dog, they cry, dog. They might not cry in front of people. They usually wait till they get under their cover to do it. I sure did. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, them tears gonna flow at some point, dog. It's heartbreaking. You can say what you want. Gangster as you want to be, hustler as you want to be, player as you want to be, junkie as you want to be. We all feel that. Ain't nothing like it. Nothing like it. But anyway, how I avoided those traps though, bro, was I kind of went in there with a frame of mind like, man, look, I'm coming out of here as soon as possible. I had a 10-year sentence, and I knew I only had to do 5 years on it. And I knew if I participated in some self-help programs that I could cut that time down just a little bit. So that's how I got it down to like 4 years, you know, by participating in every self-help program. And in order to participate in these self-help programs, because not only was I trying to cut my time down, I was really trying to get something under my belt so that when I came home, I didn't have to hustle to make a decent living. Because, you know, without no skills or no certifications, you can't really earn decent buck. It's gonna always be $12 an hour under or something like that for laborers, no skills. So I knew I needed to get a skill because I knew I couldn't come home and do what I had been doing my whole adult life, bro. So I had it on, and like I said, to participate in these self-help programs, you have to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the requirements. So I had to stay out of trouble in order to participate in these self-help programs. Couldn't do drugs in there because they come around drug testing a lot. Now I could have, but I would have blew everything that I was trying to do. And I knew I was trying to come back home and make a living for myself, man. And without having to risk my life again, bro. I knew I couldn't do it no more. So that's just how I did it. I kept my head down. And as far as another thing too, like I said, I wasn't so friendly. Like when I go in there, I don't just walk around smiling and showing my teeth. So, and I'm kind of a bigger, taller dude. So a lot of times bullies usually, I mean, nobody wants to get hurt, bro. That's just what it is. Nobody wants to get hurt. So a lot of times when you see people picking on people and abusing other people, they assess that situation before they start doing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They chip away at you. They don't just, when you see somebody getting abused, that didn't just happen. They didn't just end up from zero all the way to that. You know, the bully or the abuser is always chipping away. It start off with them might just be joking with them in a certain way or clowning with them in a certain way. Then they get more aggressive as time goes on. You know, they start doing more and more and more. And before you know it, they're slapping and punching on you. You feel me? But that's because you let them get out of line with you gradually. Like the first thing that happens, bro, you gotta check it. Even if you're scared, no matter what your situation might be, if you think you're gonna get hurt, well, you gotta take that chance sometimes, bro. Because if you don't, then you're hurting yourself worse. Because now you're just inviting everybody to disrespect you any kind of way they feel like it. So, you know, I just avoided that situation by not playing with people, not really opening the door for people to feel that comfortable with me. So when people told jokes and stuff like that, I didn't smile, and I never entertained nothing. Like if nobody was talking to me, I wasn't talking to them. You know what I'm saying? If they were joking and laughing about something, I didn't laugh and smile. Even if they looked at me. Because, you know, sometimes people try to invite you in to the laughter. They might, laughing and smiling and looking in your face to make you smile and laugh with them too. I might look up and see somebody looking at me, and I just start back reading my book or something. Like I just wasn't playing around, bro. I wasn't with all that. I didn't want you to feel comfortable enough to start talking to me. I just wanted you to leave me the F alone. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of made it known that I just didn't want to be bothered. But I was never disrespectful either, because you can't walk around with a chip on your shoulder acting like you Iron Chest Charlie either, because that'll get your head cracked open. So it's a balance, bro. You can't put too much on it, but you can't not put enough. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's a real balance, bro. You put too much on it, then people realize, oh, he's just scared. He's just acting tough because he don't want nobody to mess with him, man. You don't want that to happen either, because if they perceive you like that, people start testing you. So it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? You know. So yeah, man, that was to answer your question. You know, that's how I avoided it. And maybe we talk more about that later too, man. I got a whole lot to talk about, bro. But anyway, bro, you're watching Real Food for Thought, man. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it, bro. Thank everybody for your time. Thank you for the support, man. Hit that comment. I mean, hit that like, hit that bell notification, y'all. You know? And yeah, man. Just keep tuned. Just stay tuned, bro. Appreciate all y'all, man.